Hello, Fionnuala Quinn of Traffic Garden Designs. I wanted to talk a little bit about Traffic Garden stencils. The stencils impart the traffic look, which is key to making these small worlds, look like the real world. We use the same font, the same look as on our streets, but the stencils have to be scaled down to fit in the small streets. And a handful of years ago, everyone had to go out and, figure out the sizing and custom make the stencils. And then I worked with Megan Palmer at Stencil Pavement Company, now called stencilfast.com. And we came up with two sets of Traffic Garden stencils, the basic and the deluxe. They are scaled and sized for traffic gardens. And they're high-grade professional stencils, the same type that installers use for doing streets and parking lots. And why is that key? There's low-cost stencils out there. People try to make their own stencils, which is fine for certain types of applications, like a temporary traffic garden. But if you are working with professional-grade paints on asphalt, which is never perfectly smooth, no matter how flat and clean you get it, what you really need are the type of stencils that work with these commercial paint products that will lie flat into the surface, which is, as I say, never regular, and that you will end up with a crisp, sharp design and, no leakage underneath. And the way to do that is the same way they do our streets, which is with these high-grade products. This particular product, you can see some of my stencils here, and I have more from the set here. Here's the yield sign. Here's the stop sign. They are, and I have to read this, created from orthopedic grade, low density polyethylene, which is a thick, flexible plastic. It resists warping, it resists paint and solvents, and it's great for pavement markings and repeated use. And that's what you need, because you're going to have to use the stencil repeatedly around the site, and you're going to want to use it to maintain your site, go in and touch up. So these are what you need. Mine are not as clean as they ought to be. I'm not a professional asphalt person, so I may not clean them up as much as I ought to, but they last forever. I've used them for all sorts of fun projects, temporary and pop-up traffic gardens, and for stenciling on my street. Every so often I will do that as a treat. I get a lot of requests, but really the idea is that it's a set for life. If you have multiple traffic gardens in your community, or just one that you're looking to maintain, and that the stencils go, the markings go in right at the start. So you can buy them on the Stencil Fast website, and they have two sets, the basic and the deluxe. The deluxe has all the extras like, the handicap parking, the railroad markings, but the basic has everything you need to do, a traffic garden with all the stencil markings. So check them out.